What if Naruto had the Rinnegan Part 8? All the genin walk up to the balconies overlooking the fighting stage and wait for their names to be called. All of them looking forward to fighting and watching other people fight, seeing how far they've come. The first names to be called are Kin and Sakura. From the other side of the room, Kin smiles, thinking how lucky she is to finally get her own revenge on what that girl did to her. But Sakura was also smiling, and when they get down to the fighting stage, Sakura makes a remark saying she no longer has her team's mates to fight for her this time. Kin gets enraged at this comment, and as soon as the proctor shouts go, Kin rushes to Sakura, trying to grab her by the throat. But this is what Sakura was hoping for, because apparently she's read The Art of War. She wanted Kin to be so angry she will have more chance to put her under the same genjutsu without her having her defences up. Sakura dodges and weaves through all of Kin's wild strikes and manages to get enough distance to drop a smoke bomb. Naruto and Sasuke both smile, knowing that this fight is already over. Sakura runs out of the smoke, trying to blindside Kin, but Kin punches Sakura with enough strength to make her burst. Crap, it was a shadow clone. Everything goes dark, and a huge avatar of Sakura stands there looking down at Kin. But before she could release the genjutsu, she got knocked out by the real Sakura, who was already on top of her as soon as she cast the genjutsu. Team 7 erupt with cheers at Sakura's victory, and even Ino lets out a small smile, seeing how strong Sakura had become. Next up is Shino versus Dosu, and to be honest, it would probably go the same as the fight against Zaku, but even faster, because Dosu would be easier to beat as bugs don't actually have an inner ear or ear canal, so they wouldn't become dizzy due to the sound waves. So it'd be a fairly underwhelming victory for Shino. After this would be Tenten versus Zaku. Tenten would summon her weapons and run in to strike Zaku, but he would simply pull his arm out of his slings and use airwaves to send Tenten and her weapons away. But as she gets pushed back, Tenten notices that in Zaku's arms, she sees the pipes that lets him use his chakra in that way. And because they come out of pipes, because they're pipes, it comes out in a cone shape, which is a very obvious limitation. Tenten smiles and pulls out every scroll she has, opening them long enough and far enough to get past the edge of the Jitsu's range. She uses her chakra to summon all of her weapons, which does take a massive toll. But with the last of her strength, she launches all of them towards Zaku. Some of them get blasted away because they're in range, but the others that actually matter make it through, stabbing through Zaku's clothes, pinning him to the ground and rendering his arms all but useless. As the only one to be able to move, albeit only a tiny bit, Tenten is declared the victor of the fight. Next up is Kiba versus Shikamaru. This is another fight that I think would be a bit boring. I can only assume that Shikamaru would try to catch Kiba in Shadow Possession Jitsu, and Kiba and Akamaru would have no choice but to continuously dodge. But in the same way Shikadai catches Boruto, I hate myself for referencing that show, by the way, because I really don't like it. Shikamaru would probably extend the shadow into a huge circle in order to capture Kiba and Akamaru. beating Kiba by making him nut the wall, knocking him out. So Shikamaru wins. I'm just gonna stop by here for a sec. I'm sorry for going through these fights so quickly, but I'll explain why later. Well, I won't explain why later. It's the fact that this part would go on for fucking ever if I went through every one of them with precise detail. Next up is Naruto versus Hinata, and Hinata looks incredibly nervous to be face to face with Naruto, especially in a fight. Naruto notices this and tells Hinata to hold nothing back, with a sincere smile on his face. Hinata smiles back and nods, launching towards Naruto, trying to strike at his chakra points. But he dodges every strike, and almost as if he was coaching her, keeps telling her to focus. Inside of Naruto, Kurama laughs, telling Naruto that he sure is cocky. But after a few seconds he stops laughing when he senses someone's hatred, but can't tell who it's coming from, but knows that it's directed towards Hinata. Kurama conveys this to Naruto, and Naruto's expression changes as he looks around the room, trying to see for himself, but it's a bit difficult as he has to dodge. He stops moving eventually, and Hinata seals one of his chakra points, showing Naruto what that fighting technique actually does. Naruto turns to Hinata and, very apologetic, says that he's sorry for having to do this, and chops her to the back of the neck, painlessly as he can, knocking her out. He catches her before she falls, and catches a glimpse of Neji, who looked beyond angry, almost like he wanted Hinata to be hurt more. Naruto looks directly at him, his eyes glowing purple. But sensing it, Kurama tells Naruto to calm down. Hopefully, they will get a chance to teach him a lesson in how to properly respect a lady. Naruto lays Hinata down next to Sasuke, waking her up, making sure she's okay. But Hinata's entire body goes red, and she just passes out, making Kakashi chuckle a bit. The next fight is Rock Lee versus Yoroi, I think his name is. If I'm wrong, let me know. But there's really no point in covering this fight. Sasuke won in canon by mimicking Rock Lee, and this is actually Rock Lee, so he doesn't stand a chance. So next is Ino versus Choji. This fight, I think, would end fairly quickly as well. But I think while knowing Choji's techniques, she would try and use mind transfer straight away, while Choji tries to use human boulder. And with Ino's mind in Choji's head, and her body getting hit by Choji, which would hurt a lot, I think it may end up knocking them both out, as Choji becomes dizzy as it is with human boulder. So his body would be a bit out of sorts, so probably knock him out. So it would end up with both of them losing. Full disclaimer, the reason I made both of them lose, because there's an uneven amount of fights. And in canon, Ino and Sakura do lose to each other, which makes the fights even. So the final round of the Chunin exams is pairs of fights and not like a 3-man fight. But either way, I'm getting off topic. Next is Neji versus Kankuro. The fight would start with Kankuro quickly pulling out his puppet, as he has already seen how the Hyuga clan fight, knowing that it's close range. But he doesn't know that Neji is far more powerful than Hinata is. Kankuro sends his puppet in to attack Neji, but Neji, who had his Byakugan activated, could see the chakra threads that were connected to the puppet from Kankuro clear as day. Neji dodges them, and then not dodges the puppet, and then cuts the chakra threads completely off, leaving Kankuro completely defenseless for a few seconds. But that's all Neji needs, as he flies in, hitting most of Kankuro's chakra points and knocking him out. After the fight is over, Neji looks up to Naruto with disdain on his face, while Naruto looks at Neji the same way after seeing this, and knowing that he would have done the same to Hinata given the chance, as Kurama had actually gifted Naruto the ability to sense people's emotions, well, at least to some extent, after Kurama having to tell Naruto about someone's hatred towards Hinata. So he's just gone, right, there you go, sense that yourself, mate, I can't be asked anymore. Now, the final round, Sasuke versus Gaara. They both ascend to the fighting stage, with Naruto telling Sasuke that he better not lose, with Sasuke shooting a thumbs up to Naruto. Sasuke and Gaara stare at each other, and when the proctor tells them to start, neither of them move, as they are both waiting to see how the other one reacts. Eventually, Sasuke gets bored and launches towards Gaara, throwing a punch, but gets blocked by the sand, with Gaara not moving a muscle. Sasuke tries again with his Sharingan activated, and the same thing happens. Even as Sasuke tries jumping over the sand simply blocks him, and blocking every attempt. He jumps back and launches a fireball jutsu at Gaara, which again gets blocked by the sand. But this was a distraction, as Sasuke ran behind Gaara while he couldn't see, but he gets impaled by the sand. Sasuke explodes into lightning, making the sand retreat a bit and showing that it was in fact a lightning clone. And the real Sasuke runs through the lightning, almost getting close enough to lay a hand on Gaara. However, the sand wraps around Sasuke's legs, throwing him into the wall, with enough force to send Sasuke through it, completely knocking him out. So, Gaara wins. Without the training that Sasuke had in the original for the final exam against Gaara, I don't see a way that he'd win here. Because, as far as I remember, Gaara didn't train between the preliminaries and the actual final exam. So he's just as strong as he was in the final exams in canon, and Sasuke is nowhere near. Oh, he doesn't have the training from Kakashi. After the preliminaries are over, the Hokage congratulates them all for showing their strength, and tells them all that they have a month to train before the final exam. They all get ready to leave, but Naruto locks eyes with Gaara and Neji in a small contest of wills, shall I say, as he has a problem with both of them now. Neji for showing what he'd do to Hinata if he had the chance, like the way he beat the crap out of Kankuro, and Gaara for sending Sasuke through a wall. Naruto leaves with Sakura to go and check on Sasuke, and after making sure he's okay and taking him to get treated, because let's face it, he's going to have a concussion, they begin their 1 month training. Back to what I said before about going quite quick. When I wrote this, I only had about half an hour to 45 minutes to write it. Due to work. Basically, today I had to go in at 6 o'clock in the morning when I left work at 10 o'clock at night. And I still hadn't wrote it. So I had to breeze through it as quickly as I can. But let me know what you thought about this part, and I am sincerely sorry about going through the fights very quickly. And I would also like to know how you feel about the series as a whole at the moment. and if there's anything you would like to see going forward in this series. Actually, any series, fuck it. And any new series, why not? But if you liked it, like, subscribe, and hit the ding if you'd like. And I'll see you all later. Bye.